Hey everyone, welcome to another Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay. So grab a brush, grab some models, grab some paints, paint along with me. Let's get some work done, rid the world of unpainted models. Today I'm going to go a little bit away from my normalness painting. It's the end of the month of April. I'm going to finish with some Grot tanks that I've been working on for a while, because I want to get these Grot tanks done for a battle report that I'll be filming tonight against a really cool demon / chaos player. So I want to play them against them, have some fun. And that way I get the work done and these models look good in the battle report. So let's go ahead and get them done. It's been a good month and we'll talk about that today. And yeah, talk to you soon. Let's get started. Hey everyone, so today it's Grot tanks. Now these are little Grot tanks. I call them the snot tanks because these are a gift to me from Mr. Cody Rue. And look at the size difference. This is the tallest of the Grot tanks. So the tallest of the Grot tanks, the frame alone, is taller than the snot tank. But it's okay. They look great. They do look Grot tanky. And they'll be fun to use in today's battle report, but they're not done yet. I gotta get them done for today's battle report. So this one's pretty close to being done. Other than I gotta add, you know, the weathering, smoke on the pipe, you know, the mud, the rust. And that's basically, I got a cool checker pattern going on this one. So that's it. We'll be working on these today. I might be taking breaks throughout it. I figure it might be kind of cool if I need to do some quick airbrushing or something. If I need to, we'll do it. But I have to finish up the 3 snot tanks. As I said, there's 3 snot tanks, or Grot tanks, and then the heads of the Grot tanks I need to work on, and yeah, and then one more of them. So it's good. Give me plenty of time. Now I know it's Tyranids, but I just wanted to take a break today from Tyranids because I need to get these guys done for a battle report. I want to try them out and have a great army of Grot tanks. And yeah, let's get started. So I must start off today's video with a little thing. Like most of you are probably unaware of this, but this week the founder of Badger airbrushes, and I'm a huge fan of Badger airbrushes. I use them for painting. I use them on these guys. He died this week, so obviously my condolences to the family. And yeah, I never met him. I know his son, Ken. I know his son well because I've chilled with him occasionally at conventions now, and he's a really good guy, and obviously my condolences go out to the family because you know, they created a company that has influenced the miniature painting world more than they could ever imagine. You know, they didn't create airbrushes for miniatures, and it's only been a recent thing of the last 10 years that it's become, not even 10 years, probably 5 or 6 years, that it's become a really staple of miniature paintings using an airbrush. So thank you for creating that company, and yeah, my condolences to the family. I just had to start talking about that because, you know what, it's very rare that someone in our niche passes away that influenced us so much. You know, it's like if ever Jess Goodwin dies or something, or that'd be crazy. So yeah, my condolences to the family. Obviously, it's tough. But let's talk more positive stuff. So last week, I haven't even done the announcement yet. I've been really busy this week, and videos are taking forever to render. But that's just, I'm getting used to it, and it's all good. I've been really busy this week filming. There will be, and I say there will be, 100% there will be this week another How to Play Warhammer 40K. I'm almost done it. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to edit it under the current circumstances of my computer. Yeah, but it's about it. I decided, because I gave a lot of thought about how I want to do the shooting phase, because the shooting phase is by far the most confusing, rules-heavy part of the entire game of Warhammer 40K, because every gun is different. Different types require different movements, which require different things. There's ballistic skill, there's toughness, there's cover saves, there's invols. You know, like, there's so many rules in the shooting phase. It is by far the busiest phase of the entire game. And on top of that, it's where, you know, the most weapons are being fired, most different weapons are being fired at different things, and it's, oh my goodness. So I decided to break it up into several parts because I don't want to make a 45-minute part on the shooting phase. So the first video, which will come out probably later today, actually, if you're watching this tomorrow, like I'm filming this today, it'll probably be up tomorrow. So the same day as this video, it will probably be up. And it's about the weapon. It's just about weapon profiles. So weapon profiles. So I'll be going into heavy detail about range, strength, AP, and special rules. So, like in this video, I've already filmed a good chunk of it. I discuss, you know, obviously range and strength and how it's used to determine if it can wound against the toughness of the individual or the armor value. And that's still wet. And this one is still wet. And this one, still wet. Darn. I should have let these dry more before starting this video, but it's okay. Still wet. Okay. So I'm going to take a break from the dry brushing silvers. I didn't plan that out too much. Sorry, so I'm going over the weapon profiles and then the special rules. You know, AP and how it relates to armor penetration. So if the AP is equal to or less than the armor save of the individual, they lose the armor save. And that's it. And then I'll be going over the special rules, like rapid fire and gets hot, heavy, assault, pistol, salvo, you know, that kind of thing. That's my only goal for the video, because that way, if they can understand, if the new person can understand the types of weapons, how to actually shoot the guns will be much easier. And I'm going to make one video implicitly on templates, only about template weapons, flamers and blasts, because it needs to be done. So the next 3 weeks are going to be just about the shooting phase in a lot of detail, and it's going to be back, and I'm happy. It's the good thing, because it's been by far the most demanded video series, which is weird. It's one of those, alright, one of the things that happens when you make videos is you have no idea how they're going to be responded to. You know, are people going to like them? Are people not going to like them? Are people going to care about them? And sometimes in series, it doesn't start off, it becomes like cult following, basically. And that kind of happens with several of my video series. You know, when I started Miniature Painting 101, it was not popular at all. And now it's one of my most popular series. And it happened with How to Play 40K. Again, did not take off fast at all. People were like, oh, cool series, good idea. And then, what was it? I don't have time, unfortunately, when my computer started crapping out on me. It was one of the first series that I had to stop making because of the style in which I film. I use a green screen, so there's green screen work on it, and there's frequent takes where I have to jump between a green screen take, you know, me in front of a green screen, and the actual thing, what I'm discussing. The only problem is right now when I'm editing, I can't actually see the previews don't show when I render because of an issue. Now I think I've narrowed down the issue. I've got my computer taken, you know, tested in a couple ways, and I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm going to take the money that I made from Patreon this month. So once again, everyone who's out there who supported my Patreon, awesome. And anybody who wants to, please go support my Patreon because time's still good. And if you support it today, I'll get the money soon. And I'm going to use the money plus a little bit of money I've saved up to go purchase the new part that I need for my computer next week, which will hopefully fix my issues. And then my computer will be back to normal, no more giant rendering times, and life will be good. And you will see content, I promise, way faster. Because battle reports especially take right now like days to render. You know, so that will end. So that'll be good. Hopefully that is what it goes back to. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so I let it drop a bit lately because as I said, I can't do it. It's just one of those series that I can't really do. Now this episode will be easier, and you'll see why. There's a lot less jumps than my normal content, but yeah. So it'll be good, and it's back. And then while let it drop a little bit, all of a sudden it became really popular. Like, it's now, part 1 is now one of my more viewed episodes every month, and people are just I've gotten several even emails or messages about it lately saying, are you still doing it? Please bring it back. It's an awesome series, so it's awesome. And the thing is, I want to continue all my series as videos. I really do. But when I get messages like that, I take them immediately to heart, and I say, okay, if people are that much into it, obviously I want to keep making the series. Now, this time, it wasn't like I hated making the series and I just stopped making it. It's actually because of technical issues. So it'll be the first series that comes back hardcore when I get my computer fixed, for sure. That's my promise. And by the time I'm done the series, probably next edition will be coming out, but still. Well, shooting phase, it'll be done over the next few weeks. And then the assault phase is really easy compared to the shooting phase. The amount of rules in the shooting phase, oh my goodness. So, shooting phase will be assault phase will be relatively easy. And then I'll do, you know, tanks and stuff and all that jazz. And so I promise people, it will be coming back hardcore. Hardcore. Adam, you missed a spot. So, yeah. It'll be good. I promise. So, new episode this week. Should probably be up Thursday night. Hopefully. If not Thursday night, probably Friday. What else? Yeah, and hopefully my computer gets fixed and all is behind us and I'll be happy. It's hard to make internet videos when your computer doesn't work well. What else? Oh, last week I haven't made the formal announcement yet about my commissions. That's what I was talking about earlier. I haven't made the formal announcement about commissions yet. I'm still just seeing how the waters go, and I don't want to jump in too crazy, but I'm going to probably make the announcement tomorrow or the next day. I've actually gotten several commission offers since a lot of quotes, and a few people have taken it since last week, which is great. It gives me hope that I can go back into commission painting and have a good time and paint some miniatures and make people happy. You know, that's what I do it. Not for the money. But it's good. You know, I'm going to have a good time doing that again. And I'm sorry last week. I guess I might have... People said I sounded like bummed out or something about complaining about my other job. And it's true. I really don't... I don't want to complain about it more. I'm not going to talk about it much today. But I don't like it very much. But it's okay. I'm going to get by. I'm going to survive, people. I'm going to work hard at this commission work and my videos. As soon as my computer gets fixed, it'll even be even better. And until I can just do this, and I'll be happy. It's all good. Weather's beautiful outside. We had snow last week. Last week while I was doing just after the painting with Jay, I think it was snowing in Canada. I know people say it's Canada. I know, but Canada, it doesn't snow all the time in May, or in April, sorry. It was snowing. That was really annoying that it was snowing. And, yeah. But it's really nice this week. Weather's been beautiful. My motorcycle is in the shop, so hopefully that'll be fixed soon. A lot of expenses popped up this year, which happens in life, you know. Life is expensive, and randomly expenses pop up all at the same time. And that's kind of what life is. That's okay. Maybe I should buy less Grot tanks. Yep, probably. I don't have any more Grot tanks to purchase anyway. Probably one more set of Grot tanks and then I'll be done, because that'll be my 18 Grot tanks. And then it'll be fun. Then the Grot Mega Tank. Shut up. I'm talking to myself now. I'm getting in a fight with myself. It's kind of fun. Jay loses it on the internet. Can't wait for the summer. Peterborough is really nice in the summer, and last year I really didn't take advantage of it. So this year I'm going to try to do much more. Maybe fish or something. Go fishing. There's a music festival, which I'm going to try to get to a few. Last year I got to a couple concerts. I saw Tegan and Sarah, and I saw Royal Wood. Both really good concerts. And then this year, they haven't announced the lineup yet. I'm excited for it, though. This year there was a teaser. What they did was, there's an opening concert, and they did a teaser, like some tips on who the band was. And first one to name on Facebook won VIP tickets to the band. So day one, it was a 4-day set of tips. So day one, the tips was, or not tips, the hints. The hint was, day one, it was a band from Minnesota. I was like, okay, a lot of old one-hit wonder bands are from Minnesota that are still touring, like Semisonic or Soul Asylum. So I said Soul Asylum, and I was the first person to say it, I think. But I was wrong. It wasn't Soul Asylum. I figured Soul Asylum was actually a good guess because they're from Minnesota, they're still touring, and like the 2 days before they're in the day of the concert in Peterborough, they were in, I think, Michigan? So that's an easy trip from Michigan to here. But I was wrong. I was like, okay. But luckily, though, I figured if I was wrong, not many bands are from Minnesota that I want to see other than like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's not coming to Peterborough for a free concert. No, that would be amazing. That would be the greatest thing that ever happened to Peterborough. But I thought, okay, at least if it's not any of these bands, it's not a band that I probably will go see anyway. Or maybe I'll go see them, but it's not that I need the VIP tickets anyway. It's a free concert. So then day two, the hint was it's a 5-man country group from Minnesota. And then instantly it was kind of funny how everyone's attention on the Facebook messages kind of just died. You know, day one it got 85 guesses. Day two it got 6, 7. Because everyone was like, oh, this band, Semisonic, Soul Asylum, nope. And it's like 5-man country group. People are like, oh. And then it was actually a band called, what's it called? Go On? I believe the name of the band is. So it was a 5-man a cappella country group. Now they rose to fame in the States because they won a sing-off competition, one of the sing-off shows, I believe. So that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll go see them. Maybe they'll be good. You know, it's a free concert. You really can't complain when it's a free concert. So I'm very curious to see how they do, how the other lineups are. They usually use one big Canadian band. Like 2 years ago, it was Walk Off the Earth. And last year, it was Tegan and Sarah. And as far as Canadian bands go, they're up there in popularity. Both of them are up there in popularity. So that'll be cool. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. Good summer. I'm going to have a good time. I don't know. Who knows where I'll be next year, you know? My wife and I don't have set plans of where we're going to live in the future. I'm hoping to stay in the Peterborough area. But in the meantime, I want to get my Jaded Productions off the ground. It's been almost a year. It really got me thinking. It's been about just under a year. I moved to Peterborough just under a year ago. But since I launched Jaded Productions and the Warp, it's been 11 months. So I'm going to have to give a serious thought about the Warp and what I want to do with it. I think, not like I'm going to end it or anything. I'm saying what I want to do in the future. Because I really want to launch it and get it going. You know, it's getting more popular every now and then. I get new subscribers, but that, you know, I'm hoping it gets more popular. I don't necessarily have to get mini wargaming popular, but it'll definitely help me survive off my YouTube stuff. The weird thing about the Warp is because it's a paid channel, right? It doesn't really matter about the number of views you get, and it's a much smaller community, obviously, because it's only, you know, it's a tiny fraction of what the free channel has because it's free. Makes sense. And but the amount I make off the two of them are actually very comparable, extremely comparable. So that's kind of weird. I should get some more color on this guy. And apparently I have paint on my finger, and I've been rubbing it on this side. That's okay. The way these grot tanks, I intentionally have kept them really gross. Because I was reading the fluff about Grot, like about what these things should represent, and they should be decrepit and broken and rusty, and that's what I'm paint my new kind of style when I'm painting my vehicles for Death Skulls has been really broken, like just gross almost, rusted and dirty and stuff. And because that's what they should be. They're you know, Frankenstein's vehicles essentially, right? They're not going to be pristine and nice like the Space Marine brand new vehicles or anything. These are scrap piles. In fact, Grot tanks have a 5-up invulnerable save because of this scrap pile. It's a like moving scrap pile rule because they're just pieces of junk on top of junk on top of junk. They get a 5-up invulnerable save. So that'll be good. You know, so I just want to paint them, and I like painting. It's kind of fun painting, not poorly. You don't paint terribly, but you age them, and it's really fun to do that and just paint them really dirty. All right, what else should I paint now? These guys. Is it ready? Yeah, I'm gonna take a break from brass because I think that the silver metallics are ready again for a quick dry brush. So what else happened last week? Eldar Codex dropped, and oh my goodness, it is dropped like that, like it's hot. It's a good codex. The more I think about it, the more I think it's a solid codex. You know, and I was very shocked at how untouched and the way that they went, because the Eldar Codex was so strong before that. Things should have gotten more expensive or nerfed, and almost everything got buffed, which surprised me. Almost everything got buffed, and almost everything got cheaper or stayed the same. One or two models got more expensive, but one of them was the Wraith Knight, and the Wraith Knight is now a gargantuan monstrous creature, and of course gets all the benefits, you know, of being a gargantuan monstrous creature. He's now the Lord of War slot, and it'll just prevent, you know, Wraith Knight spam. It'll probably happen with the Riptide as well, because the Riptide is just nuts as well. But yeah, I was very shocked at how good the Codex remains after a filter through 7th edition. Because until the Necron Codex came out, really 7th edition codices were very, very balanced, very middle ground, fair, not a lot of crazy rules. And I naturally assumed that they were going to remove, I thought they were going to remove Bladestorm, because it was way too powerful. You know, most aren't, like, Necrons have the ability to auto wound something on a 6. But they not only auto wound, they rend on a 6. Like frickin' shuriken pistols. It's really crazy, you know? And it makes their shuriken pistols one of the most deadliest things in the game because they're free. And with that much volley of fire, you're gonna roll some 6s. So these little shuriken pistols are wiping out Terminator squads. They're wiping out other Wraith Knights that are toughness 8. They're wiping out everything against anything that has an armor save, or anything that has a toughness value is just dead against them. So that surprised me. And also, another thing that really surprised me was they didn't change battle focus. In fact, they made battle focus better. Because if you take the formation, one of the benefits of the formations is that it allows you all run rolls to be 6 automatically, which makes them predictable. And so your opponent can know exactly that he'll get all, or she will get all 6s, and move up 6, fire, and then move back exactly 6. So there's no disadvantage for moving up and firing. Or move around a corner, shoot 6, move back around the corner, and hide so you can't be shot. You know, it's an extremely powerful codex. So that happened. You know, it's cool. Like, I'm not going to be mad or anything that Eldar are getting love, but it's just, it would have been really nice if Orcs got any of that love, but whatever. It's all good. It's all good. You know, when you play 40k as long as I have, it's all waves, right? It's all waves. Good times, bad times. Some armies really don't see that many good times, like Sisters of Battle have not really seen an amazing time. Maybe one day. And yeah, maybe one day, Sisters. You know, Orcs were really strong in 4th edition. And some 5th. But really strong in 4th edition. When Not Bikers first came out, that was the time of Orcs, really. That was really strong. And 5th, people were still running a lot of Not Bikers lists and stuff. And then 6th, not so much. And then the new Codex dropped, and oh, not so much. Orcs did not get much love. They got really hit hard in a lot of ways. The new mob rule, rather than, you know, helping squads remain fearless, it's make squads destroy themselves or run away. And that really sucks. Unfortunately, the way that the Orc Codex was designed was to be that, to make the Orcs the epitome, they had to be very close combat oriented and just Green Tide. Only problem is no one runs Green Tide in most competitive games, because Green Tide in a competitive atmosphere gets mowed down, and it's really boring to play, and it's really annoying. Your opponents get mad at you a lot of the time. I've played Green Tide in a tournament, and I've had people complain about my list because it was just, I was new to the tournament scene, and I did not realize that it would be such a slow game because of my list, that the game only went to a few turns, and it was because of my list, essentially. And it wasn't like I was spending the time, you know, shooting, attacking, assault, making the game interesting. It was just I was moving bodies. And then back in the day, when I started back and forth, you could remove from the front or the back. You could just choose any model you wanted to remove, essentially. So you always remove from the back. So, yeah, but it was just a different time. You know, Eldar were really strong in 4th. Once again, Wave Serpent spam. 5th and early 6th was not such a good time for them. 7th, though, well, as soon as they got their 6th edition Codex, sorry, they were in very good shape. And then 7th edition was great for them because they're very maneuverable and have such good shooting. And then their new Codex is going to be just as strong, in my opinion. I think it's a great, solid Codex. It really is powerful. And I don't think it got that much weaker. So, I think the Eldar lists are still going to be very prevalent in the metas. And that's okay. You know, if people want to play Eldar, let them play Eldar. You know, most Eldar players I know have been playing for many years, and they've ridden the waves of ups and downs, and it just happens to be an up right now. You can't blame them. They didn't write the rules. They just love their army. You know, I play Orcs regardless. I play Orcs for fun. I play for fun. That's also the key. I play for fun. But I play Orcs and I play Tyranids. 2 not very strong armies in the meta. They're not the top lists. You know, I play Grey Knights. Grey Knights are good, but they're not top anymore. They can have some competitive builds, for sure. Dark Angels are arguably the weakest Space Marine group Codex at all. Like, they're by far the weakest. They have some benefits, but they're very, very limited. You know, Deathwing as troops, that's great. But Grey Knights have Terminators as troops as well. And you don't even need to take a specific HQ to get the Terminators as troops, versus you have to take Belial or Azrael for Deathwing. So, but, yeah, Deathwing, like, Dark Angels are relatively weak, but I like them, because they're an army that I like, and I'm going to play them regardless. I don't care. That's the great thing about doing battle reports, is I don't care really about winning. I care about entertainment and having a good time. And people have asked me many times lately, I've been asked several times, do I tailor my list at all? No, I don't. Here's what I do. Sometimes I will intentionally not play an army if I know that it will be a terrible matchup for either too good for me or too good for my opponent. Because then no one has fun. Right? Or I'll have fun and he won't, or you know what I mean? It won't be good. And it doesn't lead to an entertaining battle report. Landslide victories are not entertaining, in my opinion. People are like, oh, you know, like, it gets the worst feedback from people when there's a landslide victory in one game, especially if you could just look at the lists and go, oh yeah, the game's over. So, you know, it doesn't make the battle report fun and entertaining to me. That's what not makes it good. And plus, I'm not a very competitive person. I like to have fun and have a good time, and that's my nature. So it's okay, you know. And Necrons are really powerful, and the only reason why I want to get the Decurion detachment going is because people want to see it. They want to test it out. They want me to play it against certain armies and see how it does. It's very powerful, obviously, and I'll play it. And obviously, so far I've been playing the Necrons as normal, so I've not even been playing the Decurion detachment. So yeah, I really want to start a. See, when I have money, I want to start a Skitarii army. That's what I really want to do. Because they look awesome. They are such a cool looking little faction. They are really cool looking. I like the way they look. So I want to collect them. You know? And I'll name one Marvin. And every time one dies, I'll be like, you're making me very angry. How other armies can you say that, you know? I'm doing an event next weekend. I gotta get my partner's list, actually. That reminds me. I gotta get his list. But I have my partner is Mike Groves. Now, you probably saw him in some of the more recent battle reports. One of mine as well. But the ones at Mini Wargaming, he's one of the Orc players. It was him and Cody Rue. And him and Cody Rue playing against Matt was probably one of my favorite battle reports of all time for Matt, because it was just like the amount of talking and the amount of heckling that they did to them was just amazing. It was awesome, and it was just really fun because like Orcs had, you look at the list again. It was one of those games that you look at the list and you're like, no, there's no way Orcs are going to win this game. It was like 2,000 points of Orcs versus, or maybe 3,000 points, 3,000 points of Orcs or 2,500 points of Orcs versus 2,500 points of Necrons, right? It was equal number of points, Necrons, a double Necron Decurion detachment. Like, it was one of those games that you knew ahead of time that the Orcs had no chance of winning this game. Because, looking at the list, like, the Necrons were going to blow them out of the water. And by, like, turn 2, Matt was already apologizing to Dave and to Mike, because of how overpowered his list was. But then I'm kind of one of those people that I'm thinking to myself, okay, Matt, if you know how overpowered your list is, why did you intentionally bring it so often, knowing it's so overpowered if you're trying to keep it for a close game? You know, that's my critique of Matt. If I could talk to him right now, I'd say, Matt, dude, if you are apologizing for your list, you don't, you know, why do you keep bringing that list? And then every game so far, it's like him apologizing. And I'm like, dude, again, if you're apologizing, maybe you shouldn't bring that list next time. I don't know. I think Matt's a little bit more competitive, but then he kind of forgets about how strong his lists can get or something every time he builds. I don't know, but it's like, dude, stop bringing that list. If you don't like winning by that margin, don't bring that list. Bring a normal combined arms detachment. I said, it's beautiful out, so of course I'm in here painting, but it's okay. I'm getting work done, getting ready for battle report, and I've done some yard work today as well. I'm trying to get the yard back to clean shape, because our yard is, like, we're at the end of a street, and the wind blows towards our house, and we have a fence, so we've acquired basically every one of our neighbors' leaves for several houses down over the last, over the fall and then the winter and everything. Like, we have all their leaves. There's no way these are all our leaves, but it's okay. That's what happens. So I've been taking care of the leaves a little bit at a time. Yeah, but it's a lot of yard work. It needs to get done. That's that time of the year. This year I might buy a lawnmower. Last year I was cutting it with like a push manual thing, but really I've injured my back so many times lately that I don't think my back would be up for it. So I'll probably get a lawnmower. That's it for the brass, at least until it dries. So I'll go with the wiring. I'll get the wiring done, and then depending on where we're at, I'll either pause for a minute and airbrush a bit, or just end it there. We'll see, depending on how long we have, because it's I'm curious how long it's going to take to finish these guys up. I'm really excited. They have a new opponent for battle reports. It's going to be good. I've been playing a lot against, I had a great game against Dave yesterday. It's going to be this week's Warp battle report. It was a great game. It was technically Ultramarines, but it was kind of like, it was, well, you know, it was Dark Angels proxied as Ultramarines. As a scout, he played a scout list against Tyranids, and I tried out my Dimakaran, because I've been curious about how he's going to do in games, and he kind of did exactly how I thought he would do. That dude is slow. The Dimakaran or Dimakaran is slow. He is a slow guy. He's the fast attack choice, but he is so slow. So that's what I figured. If he can get to anything, anything he touches will die. Basically guaranteed. Because he gets like 10, I got 10 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s because I'm weapon skill 8, wounding on 2s, going through people's armor. Like, it was crazy. Once I get into close combat, it's a gong show. Like, I just eat through my opponents, but getting to close combat was really hard because of him being so slow. This he's a leaper. And leapers, they move like jet infantry essentially. They're not fast. So they can move as normal and just essentially make a jump move if they want in the movement phase. They can jump over things. But he only moves 6 inches. So a lot of the time my opponent, being smart and fearful of him, just stayed like 19 inches back and open fired on him with multi-multis and stuff. You know, so he's a very huge target, I found. And when he got into close combat, he did well, but he just getting into close combat was such a challenge. He should be much faster. He's giant and has like giant legs. He's almost the same build as the Forge World, you know, Imperial Knights. I think he should be moving 12 inches because the Imperial Knights are the same build, like giant legs, right, medium torso, and they move 12 inches because they can just run really fast. I think he should have been the same way, because then he'd actually be a fast attack choice. And I was wrong in my battle report last week. I didn't mention that these guys are in fast attack because in the formation they're fast attack, and I just couldn't imagine why they were fast attack in the formation, because they are also, Grot tanks are really slow as well. They're not fast. They move 2d6, but take that in consideration that almost everything in the fast attack choices moves at least 12 inches. And the max 2d6 can equal is 12 inches. So they're not unbelievably fast either. They're fun, and that's why I love them. They have so much character to them, and they look awesome. I just love the way that the Grot tanks look. You know, they're a model that makes me smile, and that's why I play with them. When I saw the Grot tanks for the first time, it just made me smile, and I said I have to play them. You know, that's one of my questions to you guys this week. What is a model that makes you smile? That you saw it and you're like, I have to play that thing. It looks so awesome, and it makes me happy to play it. To me, it's Grot tanks. I don't care if they win or lose or if they do anything. I'm just having fun. My Grot tanks are just driving around, killing stuff, and having a good time doing it. They're Grots, you know. Most Grots don't get tanks, and they do. They're spoiled Grots. And I'm spoiled for having the Grots in tanks. And also, it's getting me closer to my all Grot list. My eventual all Grot list will be a Grot. I want to customly make a Grot Big Mech. So a couple Grot Big Mechs. What else? Grot Big Mech. Grot tanks, Killicans, or Grot tanks and... No, actually, I can do Grot tanks in the elites, Killicans in the heavies, and Mega Grot tanks in the fast, I believe, which would mean a lot of Grot. And then for the troops, Grots. Sounds like a fun list to me. And again, I don't know if it'll be very competitive, but it would just be fun. Actually, pretty fast list as well. Like, it won't be a slow game. No, it should be okay. Should be a relatively quick game, actually. Because my list is pretty not assaulty. The Grot tanks can't assault, right? Because they're only tanks. They can tank shock, but they cannot assault. Look at him. Cool. I think that's all the red wiring. And these little Grot tanks are just adorable. They're gonna be fun to use too. Cool. That's them. Okay, I'm kind of out of colors now to use because it's not done drying. All right, I'm going to pause for just a sec and come back in a minute when I will have all of the weathering done on these tanks on the bottom parts of them, and we'll go. And we're back. I just took some time and I weathered pretty much everything. Gave it all some dirt. You see? Now it's pretty nice and dirty. So the last step will be to weather them with some powders, but I think, how much time do we have? So, I think I'll use 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. So now that the brass is dry, I'll just do the brass quickly, and then finish up the brass, and then what else is there? I need to finish that one Grot who's on the tank, but I won't be able to finish that today. It'll probably be, after today's episode, but these tanks are already looking really good. Good enough for the battle report at least today, for sure. They are definitely battle report standard. I have no problems fielding them in a game. I think they'll do great. Or look great, sorry. And there we go. These little ones actually turned out quite nicely. I like them. They're just little. As I said, they're going to be cool on the battlefield, kicking butt. Today I'm probably going to run all Grotzukas. I'm going to try them out. A whole army of Grotzukas. Because Grotzukas would be fun. I don't really know what my opponent's bringing. I don't care. I don't list Taylor, as I said. So I don't list Taylor. So I don't really care too much what he's going to bring. I think it'll be fun either way. I hope that he doesn't bring like everything that is perfect answer to Grot tanks, and it'll just die quickly, and it won't be a fun game, but or it won't be a fun battle report to film. But it's all good. I have fun regardless. I like to make battle reports fun to watch. That's my goal. And he's already done. Good. Look at this. The Grot tanks are on their way to looking awesome today. Oh no, I still one left. The top one. But they're pretty close. I just got to weather them with some pigments and then let them dry. And that will be it. This one done. So here's what they look like so far. I'll put some random tops on bottom. So here's one. That's a great thing. All the tops go on all the bottom parts, and then you can take all the tops off. I'm not going to glue them on. because that way you can mix them around, just get some custom looking cool ones. And you can take all the tops, and they actually all go onto the Mega Grot tank. So if you get the Mega Grot tank, you can take all the tops off these and build them. So look at this, they look cool. This looks like that'll look good on the tabletop. Look at them all go. So let's take a few minutes and we'll weather them. Yeah, might as well. So get the weathering pigments. For this one, I'm just going to use Rust Red. Weathering pigments get everywhere. That's the rule. So Rust Red, Rust Brown to my brush. I need some isopropanol to fix it. And we'll be good. Let's weather these things up quickly, and that way they'll have time to dry. I have my battle report in about 2 hours. So that should be plenty of time to for these to dry. Whoa, don't want to put that in the shot. That would not be a very good idea. So let's do it. Let's take a little bit of Rust Red, a little bit of Rust Red. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw in a third color. I'm going to take Clay Brown, because this will tone down in certain areas the redness and the brownness of the rust colors. So what I just do with weathering pigments is I just take random amounts of each one, different amounts each time. Take a thing. And hit random places. On the tank, a little bit there. Some rust on the wheels. These are great because they're a bit stronger right now than they'll actually be. When they actually get set. So we have our rusted out Grot tank now. Look at that. That's good. We don't need tons of it. Cool. So I'll set this in place. And move on to the next one. That's essentially what I'm going to do today. Just keep going one by one. I did, it should be worth mentioning that I did, in between like these takes, I not only weathered them, I sealed them with some satin varnish, which helps protect at this step so that the alcohol doesn't necessarily eat through your previous paint job. So there we go, setting it with some isopropanol. As I said, it's not as strong when we put the alcohol on it, in most cases. And it dissolves actually it evaporates quite quickly. There we go. This part is a little heavy, so I'm just going to move some of the pigments around. And then retract a little bit of the effect. Good. See? And that should be Grot tank that's good to go. So one, done. Really dirty, a bit rusty. Technically I should have done this in reverse order, rested it out first and then dirtied it up, but it's okay. They'll still look good. Because typically rust would happen underneath the dirt, but it's okay. Next one, let's take this one, do the same thing. A little red, a little bit of brown. So, there we go. That's a lot of pigment right here, so that'll really make it look older. Do a little red, maybe a little clay brown to tone down. That's, there we go. Just adding makeup to your tank. Rust red. Rust red is definitely the strongest of the colors. Like, it really does quickly overwhelm things if you put on too much. Cool. Done. We'll set this one and forget it. Set it and forget it. Yeah, so my questions to you people today are, what models make you happy? That when you like to field them, they make you smile. When you paint them, they make you happy. When you saw them for the first time, you're like, I want that model because it makes me smile. The pigments are all setting. This is good. That one's good. This is going to be a lot of pigment right here. Let's remove some of it. There we go. Look at this. Good stuff. It's going to be good. This is going to be a good summer. I can feel it. Good year. Good year for Jay. You know, we should probably call it here. We're at 55 minutes. But yeah, we should probably call it here. But it's been awesome painting with you, because I should probably get going. The time has just hit that I have to probably take a break from these to go get ready for the battle report and get some stuff. So that concludes this week's painting with Jay. My hands, tons of paint on them. A lot of fun. We got some work done. I got some Grot tanks that are basically ready for a battle report. Almost done. Like, I'd say 95% there. Not too bad. I gotta weather them some more, but it'll just take some time. I'll see if I can get it done before the battle report. Otherwise, I'll just play them a little unweathered. It's okay. They'll be great and have fun on the table. So, yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for supporting me. Just thank you all around. And once again, my condolences go to the Badger family. Obviously, they're not named Badger, but the Badger airbrush family. I used an airbrush throughout this, so I obviously am a huge fan of their work. And my condolences to the family. And yeah, and my question to you is, what models make you happy? Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting with Jay. Yes.